everybody, I'm Tabitha, and today we are wrapping up May. You probably already noticed this video isn't dropping on a Tuesday, and I definitely missed a Tuesday, so there's a reason for that. Currently, I'm sitting at the same table I always sit at, but I have completely different flooring underneath me. So we were working for the last couple days on getting the carpet out and getting the new flooring in, and that's kind of the project we did it all together as a family. We didn't hire people, we just did it. And so it took a lot of our time and the time that I normally would have taken to film. So you're getting it late, but you're getting the wrap up. In fact, May has also been super busy on other fronts because Arizona is slowly reopening things safely, and the bookstore brought me back on part-time, so I'm back at the bookstore, and so I'm trying to kind of juggle the new schedule, and we're about to find out how that affected my productivity in May. So as a reminder, in 2020, I'm using year-long goals. So here are those year-long goals that I'm working towards in 2020. At the end of April, they actually looked like this. And actually, I'm really glad to see that so many of these got checked off or that so much progress had been made. That way, if May was a hot dumpster fire, at least I know I already had made progress towards the 2020 goals. I'm going to start at the top of this document and work my way down just like I've done the rest of 2020, and we're just going to check on my progress. Ready? Go! The big goal at the top of the page up there was to get Training Tutor published. This goal is officially met. Training Tutor is available for purchase right now. There's a link in the description that would take you to my website where you can grab an autographed copy of the paperback book. You can also grab all three of the first Fron books, so that's Breaking Iselda, Redeeming Jordan, and Training Tutor, for one low ebook bundle price right from my website. That's the best place to get that and the only place you can get that bundle. So this goal has been met. I'm going to mark it that way, and you can go grab yourself the book. Next up, we have the edits and rewrites box, which is for sure where I was the most productive in May. The fourth Fron book is done with its major rewrites, and that means the next step for this one is going to be to get it in the hands of beta readers. I already did my first edit. I did a big major rewrite for it, and so now I'm going to get it in the hands of beta readers and see what they think of that major rewrite, and then we'll go from there. It will eventually need a grammatical edit to catch the grammatical errors, but it is making progress, and that's exciting. I also started the editing read-through on the Magical YA. So the Magical YA, a while ago, probably in 2019, had a major rewrite, and then I was letting it sit. So now I'm doing my read-through to see how I feel about that major rewrite. So far, I'm still liking it. I feel like it's still working, but I'm only about a third of the way through. Magical YA is also going to need to eventually drop to grammatical edit and beta reads, but for right now, I need to finish my read-through. We shall see how this goes. Next up, the zero draft box. The idea behind this box is that I always want to be working on something new. It keeps me moving, it keeps me creating something, which is really what I love to do and when I feel the least stressed. In May, that didn't happen a lot. I spent most of my writing time in my idea journal. That means I'm aware for 2 months in a row, April and May, that means I have not had an active work in progress. I've been working on editing other stuff or whatever, but I just haven't had an active work in progress. I really think in June I may need to pick one. I think I told you in April, I've had my idea journal stuff has been centered around 3, maybe 4 projects. That was still true for May, same 3, maybe 4 projects. But I don't let myself call it an active work in progress until I have a clear idea of where it's going and I feel like I can push through it. I keep switching between the 3 or the 4 of them because I just don't have a perfect feel for any of them yet. In June, I may just have to pick one and power through. Now to the goals at the bottom of the page, the top of which is to post to the blog 24 times, and I don't count it unless it's short story, scenes, or poems. So I'm looking at pulling stuff straight out of my idea journal and basically giving it to you on my blog, which is great. At the time of filming this video, I have posted to my blog 5 times in May, I believe, only one of which, Random Words, was a short scene straight out of the idea journal. I'll drop the link to that one in the description in case you missed it, because I think it came out pretty good. Normally, I would count my poetry post at the end of the month as my second thing and say that I met this goal. The problem is, it appears I didn't write, I don't think I wrote a single poem in May. I might have written maybe 1. I just haven't been feeling very poetic in May. So I think I'm going to miss this blog post goal for the first time. But the good news is, I no longer actually have monthly goals. And I was ahead of the game in April coming in, so I've given myself a buffer, which is nice. I don't think I've given myself enough of a buffer to carry myself through June, so I'm going to need to find that again and get those posted. As of right now, full count for the year 2020 of short stories, scenes, or poems to the blog is, I do believe, at 11. So we're looking pretty good. Next up along the bottom is the goal to post 52 videos, that's one per week, right here to this YouTube channel to make sure I keep bringing you the content you want. Including this one, which if we count it as May, because it's the May wrap-up, regardless of when I actually get it posted, May saw 5 new videos to this channel. The total for 2020 so far is sitting at 32 videos, which means we started the front of this year strong, definitely crushing that 1 video a week goal. And I think that means I can forgive myself for missing that Tuesday, the 26th, maybe? Anyway, we are on track, I think, to meet that goal by the end of the year. My favorite video for May has probably been the reading habits tag. It was a lot of fun to talk about my reading habits and to realize how weird some of them were as I watched other people's reading habits tags. But I also took the reading habits companion post, which I put on the blog, and imagined answering those questions for my reading habits as they were as a teenager. So that was kind of a lot of fun. I'll make sure I drop in the description the link to the original video and to the companion post in case you missed either of them, because you don't want to miss the good stuff, right? Last on the page, but certainly never least, is to read and review 104 books, which of course is 2 per week. Again, I had a really solid start on this coming into May, so that was nice to know. I felt like April was the first time I'd stutter-stepped, and that was only because the Shield Challenge for April didn't actually get posted on the review until May. Let's see if I fix that. I set an official TBR every month to try to help me make sure I move along, and this was May's. This official TBR did include 2 advanced reader copies, The Mall and Last Memoria. It included 1 review request, Duckett and Dyer, and of course my 4 Shield challenges. Let's break down those 4 Shield challenges and see what's earning the Shields in June. First up is the Shield for the book that has been on my TBR the longest. In May, this Shield went to The Weight of Silence by Heather Gudenkopf. I rated that one 3 stars on the second set of May reviews. It was good, but it definitely won't appeal to every reader. Check out the full review if you missed it. I'll make sure I drop the link in the description. Let's see what's going to earn the Been on My TBR the longest Shield in June. All right. I'm going to open up my Goodreads here. Loading slowly. I'm going to click on Want to Read. And then I'm going to make sure I'm sorting by date added. And then, there we go. And then I'm going to go low to high, so oldest to newest. Awesome! It looks like that Shield is going to Before I Let Go by, I'm going to screw this name up, Marieke Nijkamp? I'm sorry, I don't know. This one has been on my TBR, it looks like, for just over 2 years. I added it in January of 2018. I actually remember adding this one. I had a friend who was raving about it, said it was an amazing book. That same friend, by the way, raved about Suicide Notes from Beautiful Girls and reminded me that this one was still on my list and that this young adult mystery thriller has a very similar vibe. So I am really excited to get this one on there, because as you probably know, Suicide Notes for Beautiful Girls got 5 stars for me. So that's even better. So we're giving the Shield to Before I Let Go. The next Shield I do is the book on my TBR that has the lowest average reader rating. For May, that book was Ubeity by another name I'm going to mess up. I'm sorry. Gregor Kanowski? I don't know. I did finish this book, but again, I flubbed it up in that the review will likely appear in June. Just because of the way things fell down. So I can't tell you a lot about it, but I can tell you I was underwhelmed by this one, and I completely understand why it scored so low on the reader average. It's not going to appeal to everyone. That full review will be coming really soon. Let's see what gets the lowest average reader rating Shield in June. So we're going to go back to my TBR here, and we're going to sort by average rating. And we're going to make sure we're going low to high. It's not right now, so we've got to switch that. Oh, I have to skip these top 2. Those are advanced reader copies that I currently have, and that doesn't seem fair to call an advanced reader copy the lowest average. It's low average right now because it's an advanced reader copy. So I'm going to skip those. So it looks like the shield is going to A Soft Place to Land by Susan Rebecca White. This book has an average rating of 3.16. So it looks like it might be rather niche and maybe not for everybody. But I will keep an open mind going into it. This, if I remember correctly, this is a contemporary fiction. That would be adult age category. I think I actually have a paperback copy of this one that I scored from a used bookstore. So that's cool. I'm always excited to actually read one on my physical TBR shelf and get that taken care of. So that's awesome. I'll officially add this one to my June TBR and hope that that box is unpacked before I need to read it. So the lowest average rating shield is going to A Soft Place to Land. The other side of that same shield is the shield for the highest average reader rated book on my TBR. For May, this one was Sex, Death, God, but not necessarily in that order, by Tom Levine, also known under its new title, A Little Insurrection Now and Then. I loved this book, It was a well-deserved highest average reader rated book. I gave it 5 stars on my May book reviews too, which you can find in the description. You should definitely check out that book. You should also definitely check out Tom Levine's website, which is linked to my blog, because that book is currently free. So it's a 5-star book and you can get it for free from Tom's website, so you probably should. Let's see what's going to get the highest average reader rating shield in June. I'm going to go back to my Goodreads and I'm going to, we were already sorted by rating. I'm just going to flip it to high. And again, I have to skip these top 2 because those are advanced reader copies. So same reason why I skipped the lowest 2. So it looks like the shield is going to The Darkling by K.L. Hageman. Let's see. This one is the sequel to The Awakening, which I believe I gave 4 stars, and I think I only read it in April, so I just gave it 4 stars last month. I don't actually have a copy of The Darkling right now, so I'm excited to actually get that. The Darkling is getting my shield for highest average reader rating for June. The last shield I give around here is for a book recommended based on a recent 5-star rating. So in May, wait, let's back up. In April, I gave a 5-star rating to the book Dawn's Hill by Karen Larinaga. And then in May, it was recommended that I read the sequel to that, Dawn's Shadow, also by Karen Larinaga, which I love. These 2 books are a gem. I gave them both 5 stars. You don't want to miss them. They're absolutely wonderful. I think I reviewed Dawn's Shadow on my first May review, so you can check that out by following the link in the description. For June, my most recent 5-star read in May is A Little Insurrection Now and Then by Tom Levine, which I just mentioned. So I put out a call on Twitter and Facebook and other things, my social media, for recommendations. So I tried to give you reasons why I loved A Little Insurrection Now and Then and asked you for recommendations. And I got quite a few. So I'm sorry I'm not pulling this right in front of you, but I did pull it. I needed to put my TBR together, so I pulled it yesterday when the video should have gone up to figure out what it would be. You guys gave me 4 or 5 different ones. I put them all into a cup. I shook them around and I pulled them up. And it turns out the book that is getting the shield is Shackled, also by Tom Levine. So the person who said I should read Shackled said that it's got that same character-driven, characters I'm going to fall in love with type vibe, but this one's actually a mystery thriller, I think, a young adult mystery thriller from Tom. I'm not surprised to see that a Tom Levine recommendation netted a Tom Levine recommendation. The guy's in a class by himself. So we all know I'm probably going to love this book. In fact, I think if my husband will let me borrow it, we own a paperback copy. He owns an autographed paperback copy of this one, I think. And I haven't read it, right? So the shield for recommended based on a recent 5-star read is going to Shackled by Tom Levine. So in the interest of closing out the book goal in May, my May actually read looked like this. Putting my grand total at 12 books read in May, 3,465 pages read in May, which breaks down to an average of 288 pages per book, which means, although 12 books looks good, these must have been on the shorter side because that's a little lower than my average per book normally. Let's look forward to June and help myself get on track for this goal. You guys, if I thought that June was going to be a chance to breathe, I mean, just look at this TBR. Sometimes I don't know how I do this to myself. So, this TBR for May includes 3 advanced reader copies. That would be The Daughter of Marmaros, Side Trip, and You're Next. It includes 2 review requests, Fame and Privilege and Immortal Defiance, and of course my 4 Shield challenges. I'm not overwhelmed. You're overwhelmed. Okay, so I know that's not true. I know my TBR would not overwhelm you. Why would you be overwhelmed by my massive TBR? My goal is to focus on getting these 9 books read and getting them read up front. I'm going to do the best I can. I don't know how I ended up with 9. So we're just going to hope that I can get through June alive. We're going to be reading. Anytime you see me in the real world, I'm going to have a book in my hand. That's what's going to happen in June. Okay, so let's recap the official May checkpoint. Ready? Training Tutor is published, so this goal is met, and I really don't need to look at it again for 2020, which is awesome. I finished the major rewrite of Fran Book 4 and started my final edit of the Magical YA. I'm probably about 1/3 of the way through that. I did write a lot of words in my idea journal, but I did not pick an active work in progress. I am 41% of the way through the year. So are you. I don't know why I said I. We are 41% of the way through the year, and yet I'm about that far of the way through my blog goal, so I guess we'll call the blog goal still on track. I'm more than 60% of the way through my yearly YouTube and reading goals, so I basically am crushing those 2. Okay, that's it for me and my May 2020 progress. As you can see, I was far enough ahead coming into May that it covered me for a weird and wacky month. I'm hoping to resume my normal productivity in June, maybe even better than that, because that TBR is huge. Wish me luck going into it. Just remember to follow me on Instagram so that you can see the pretty pictures of my actual reading and word count goal that go up, because my little bullet journal that I got going is actually really pretty when it's all said and done. At the end of the day, even though May may not have been the best, I'm calling it a success because I made progress towards the year-long goals, and man, my flooring looks nice. May was a win. Drop a comment to let me know you're still here. Hit subscribe and tap that little bell so you know when I'm back. Keep plotting the path to your own dreams, and I will see you next time.